What's up, everybody? This is Trinity the Gamer 333 here with you today, and today I'm going to be bringing you the next installment in the Xenoverse 3 series videos. And for those of you that are new, this is a series of videos in which we talk about what we would like to see in the next installment in the franchise for Xenoverse and Xenoverse 3. And this is a collection of all the community's ideas as well as my own, and I like to call this the Dragon Ball game to end all Dragon Ball games. So today I will be bringing you the next part 2 modes, subpart 5 boss raid modes. And who doesn't like a good boss fight? So first let's talk about the basics. Main concept. I think that this should be similar to expert missions that they had in Xenoverse 2. You know, I liked the aesthetics, how they had the team fights and everything, and how every boss fight went down, how the bosses were a lot stronger than normal. And I think that instead of a team of 6, though, it should be a teams of 8, you know, and maybe split into 2 subgroups of 4s. But ultimately, I think it should be a team of 8, and that would just add more variety to the teams as well, and it would help out overall and help you learn to strategize more with your team on how you're going to defeat the boss. And I think the bosses should be even more powerful than they were in Xenoverse 2, since we're adding 2 more people to the team instead of just having 6 and we're having 8. And I think this should require a decent amount of teamwork. And what I mean by that is they should make the boss fights to where you actually have to work as a team. You have somebody who's going to help keep everybody up and alive through healing or whatever. And I'm not talking like a raid, kind of like another game with like a fighting class, and then somebody who takes all the damage and somebody who helps heal and everything like that. I just mean something that's like a little more teamwork based as well. And you got people who can heal as well, but also people who can fight as well. Then I think it should yield much greater rewards, maybe ultimate attacks, super attacks, stuff like that. And then I think it also should have the transition phases like it did in Xenoverse 2, such as the dimensional rifts and mind control, and maybe even add in a couple extra where maybe a minion jumps in to help the boss. And I'm not talking like the dimensional rifts where they fought him in another area. I'm talking like they come in during the fight while you're fighting the boss and in the same area, and it starts to fight other people, so you have to kind of change your focus, and that's where the teamwork idea comes in. Who are you going to send after those minions while the others focus on the boss? So now let's talk about the first part and the first kind of boss raid mode. This should be the giant boss mode. So in this giant boss mode, we're going to have the big bosses, the ones that you have to break their stamina to knock them down, just like a lot of the Great Apes in the Xenoverse 2 game. So the first one should definitely be Great Ape Vegeta, then Great Ape Nappa, Great Ape Turles, Great Ape Goku, Great Ape Raditz, Great Ape Bardock, Great Ape Baby, and then we get into Giant Lord Slug, Giant Piccolo, Hirudegan, Giant Janamba, and definitely the yellow form, not his smaller, sleeker, more powerful form. And that's just kind of the giant boss raid, the general ones that I think we should have in there. And I think it just kind of have a nice variety to it, and not in any particular order as well. Just bosses that you could take on as you progress through the story as well and become more powerful and gain good rewards from it. And also bosses you can just come back to, and if you want to have fun with your friends, do that. Next, we're going to talk about the normal bosses. So the normal bosses are the bosses that are smaller, but have been some of the main antagonists in the series, in any of the series. And yes, I know Frieza and Cell are not pictured here, and they're not going to be in this list, and I understand that. I just think that they are almost too much a part of the story to have them as bosses as well, and they should be their own story bosses. Yes, I have Kid Buu in here, and I understand that, but Kid Buu, I think, wasn't as prevalent as Frieza and Cell were. So in these bosses, I definitely think we should have Broly. You always need to have Broly as a boss. There's no question about that. He is beefed up dude. The dude is he's so strong, and why not have him as a boss? Then Janamba as well. I think we should definitely have Janamba. Janamba is a very powerful character, and I love him as a character, honestly. Just the way the power and his backstory of just being all the negative demonic energy from hell that he absorbed and everything. I just think, why not have him as a boss? Android and 17 and Android 18 Duo. I think that's definitely one that we should have because, it's one thing to fight one boss, but it's another thing to fight two that are of the same power at the same time. And I think that definitely would add for a different take on the whole boss raid as well if you have to fight two characters at the same time. Then we have Super 17, Omega Shenron. I like Omega Shenron. I like the character idea. I didn't necessarily like the arc, but I like the character idea behind Omega Shenron. I think he'd be a great boss. Hachiak, Kid Buu. Of course, you can't go wrong with having Jiren as a boss. Jiren's just a powerful dude. Mass Saiyan Bardock, Gokei, Super Saiyan Rose, Goku Black, Android 13, the full power mode, and then Bojack full powered as well. I think that these bosses are kind of something that one would consider a boss necessarily. So I think that they would be good fights for many of us and for us to work with a team against, because of how powerful they were. And I think that the way they should be brought about is they're unlocked through the player's progression to where you have to work with a team because if you were to power scale your level at that point in the story, you could not do it on your own. And, so basically saying that, then Jiren would be kind of like the last boss that you would fight because you would have to work with a team of 8. And, the first boss you would fight would most likely be probably most likely Android 17 and 18 Duo, if not the Android 13 full power. Now, this is another interesting take on what I think we should do with bosses. This is the God of Destruction boss mode. And I say that because I think a lot of us have really wanted to take on Beerus and have wanted to really focus our attention on maybe getting the chance to fight of God of Destruction with a team. Because obviously you can't take them on by yourself. You're not at that power level. And I think that it would be fun to fight them with a team. So this includes characters such as Beerus, obviously, he's the Universe 7 God of Destruction, Champa, Sidra, Iwan, Hellas, Moscow, Katella, Arak, Liquor, Rumushi, Belmod, Jean, and I think that honestly we should have all of these gods of destruction in here. I'm talking from all 12 universes because who hasn't wanted to take them on all at one point, and have them added into the game as well, and really see how each one plays different from the other. I just think it would be a lot of fun. So now we get into another very interesting boss mode, and this is the fusion boss mode. This is all the fusion characters. I'm sure I missed some, so don't get at me for that. I know, and I will get them probably in the final whole video about Xenoverse 3 as well. But these include Gogeta Super Saiyan, Gogeta Super Saiyan 4, Vegito Super Saiyan Blue, Buhan, Merge Zamasu, and Gotenks Super Saiyan 3. And I think that these would all be fun to fight, especially with a team, especially with where you're at in the story or whatever. And I just think that that'd be an interesting take on a boss mode. So I really hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, go ahead and subscribe to me at TrinityGamer333, and leave a like and a comment your ideas and thoughts on the video. And the next video in the series is going to be part 3, the character creations, and then sub part 1, Saiyans. So we're finally getting out of the actual game modes and getting into the character creation, and I know a lot of you probably have been wanting to see something like that for a while, so we're going to get to that next in the next video. So until then, guys, thank you guys very much for watching, and I hope you have a good day.